Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to today's service. We will begin with opening meditation. If you would please join me in Gassho. May all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. May all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. May all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Andobs. Namo Andobs. Namo Andobs. Okay, we'll continue with the three treasures. Fortunate is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Rare is it to encounter the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not seek the truth of the Dharma in this life, in what life shall we find it? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken within us our highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Dharma and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord, in a life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriad of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful teaching. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Andobs. Namo Andobs. Okay, we'll continue with the chanting of Juseige. Namo Andobs. Namo Andobs. Namo Andobs. 가곤 초생안 희심의 전어 시가만성 세프 조성가 가어머니어꺼 분이 다이세시우 Sai Shobing Sef Joshonga Gashi Jobutsuno Myosho Chojipo Kukyo Mishomon Sef Joshonga 利欲人少年上へ修凡よしぐ無常の一生天人し人力現代語不所無才の少女三組よ交際集約難回避知恵言名詞根門閉塞小悪のつなつ全宗門高僧上満蔵異様 と実法日月春十期天候音符言一周海法の公正空読を上大集中説法ししく供養一切文具足修徳音元年質上満徳意三害を両仏無下地つらつみ不傷願学へに投資最小尊志願略交換大戦王官の国書天人東内妙見南蛮ダム南蛮ダム南蛮ダム南蛮ダム南蛮ダム願にしくどく平等正祭道本も大心往生安南国Naman dubs naman 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 dubs.
You're not getting audio on Facebook
Oh,
review, and somebody else said it too.
oh,
I tried closing the app and then restarting it, but
okay.
I don't know if anybody else is having trouble.
All right.
Maybe you should ask them.
Is there trouble with audio? Can people hear me? Okay.
You'll have to wait a minute because there's a lag with the video.
Yeah. Is it? Audio's okay?
Might just be. Okay, some people said they're fine.
Oh, all good? Okay.
Okay, just making sure.
All right, just making sure.
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay. All right, we'll continue with the golden chain. I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandobs, namandobs, namandobs. Okay. So, because of what's been happening in our country right now, I didn't really feel like singing. So, I'm just going to go straight into the Dharma Talk. I would like to address, as best I can, the social unrest that is enveloping our country at this time. As you all know, my background is in Buddhism, and that is what I know best, so I will try to speak from that perspective. Unfortunately, the Buddha cut himself off from society, and so there really isn't anything on how to create systemic change or political movements. Rather, it's on the individuals to understand the Buddhist values and to make the decisions themselves. So that is how I will respond as a Buddhist individual. I'm sure many of you have heard that I grew up in Berkeley. I was truly fortunate in that sense because ideas of discrimination based on race or sexuality were met head-on in the classroom, and teachers didn't shy away from those kinds of controversial topics. We even had a dedicated class to identity and ethnic studies. It was an environment that, if you didn't have the background of a marginalized people, you were the one that everyone looked at funny. And with this background, I thought I was forever in the clear, that because of this upbringing, I couldn't be a part of the problem. I thought that since my family had gone through discrimination and supposedly made it, that I could wear it as a badge of honor whenever the topic of discrimination came up. I was off the hook and didn't have to worry about any more problems. But that's not how it works. Leaving the safety of the bubble of Berkeley and having to move to a neighborhood where I was afraid that even just walking my dog, I might be mistaken for a hoodlum and it could end with the police being called or even worse. More recently, that I could be targeted by someone who generalizes and hates off of misinformation. I still worry about discrimination. And even if these things blow over, acceptance of any given minority group is only conditional, based on the convenience of the political opinion at that time. I only realized these kinds of realities as I grew up and got older in the world. The more I live and the more I grow, the more I find proof in the Buddhist teachings, and my faith in them as guiding principles solidifies. Firstly, we all know about the term of interdependence, but in a much more real sense, what that means is that if one of us is suffering, we are all suffering. We're in this together, for better or for worse. When we look with our Dharma eyes, we see that the people who are hurting, the people who are dying, are not separate from us. They are our loved ones. They are ourselves. So it is our responsibility to stand with those who are suffering and not on the sidelines. Not actively trying to work to find a solution means that you are part of the problem. Again, what that solution is, I do not have a great answer. I'm not an expert in systemic reform, but I do know that if we have the right guiding principles, it will lead us to the answer. And it always comes down to our central object of worship, to Amida Buddha, to wisdom and compassion. And just like interdependence, we've heard these terms, but in the real sense, wisdom doesn't mean just be smart, but it means to educate yourself. No one is going to do it for you. You have to make the effort. Learn about the history, not just about what happened in the past week, but what's been going on for hundreds of years. Realize how what is happening now is not an isolated incident, but an eruption of the endurance of so many other terrible things. Educate yourself about how to play a part in it, whether it's your own biases, your own way of thinking, or how you can make a difference, who you can contact, or vote for, or donate to. How easy is it for the first step of us simply to research on Google the ways we can help or broaden our knowledge? And for compassion, it doesn't mean that we simply back down for the sake of serenity, but rather that it necessitates change. We need to be compassionate for those who have had to survive injustices and have had no other means to express their frustrations. As a Buddhist, I will not advocate for the glorification of violence, but that doesn't mean that I do not understand why people feel that there is nothing left to do in order to see some change in this country. Can you imagine being taught that you live in a society that is supposed to take care of you, only to have that hope evaporate in front of your very eyes? Can you imagine being full of so much despair of how the system has failed you, no matter how hard you try to play by the rules, that there's nothing left that you can do? I don't agree with it, but I understand why. And now finally, faith. As Buddhists in America, scholars shy away from the word because of the Christian similarities. But faith is just as important to a Buddhist as it is to anyone else. It is a source of strength in a time of peril. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in his I Have a Dream speech said, "I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling chords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day." Reverend Dr. King had faith in the creation of a better world. I have faith in the creation of a better world. What do you have faith in? Do you believe in the status quo or that it could be better? And I do not ask for your blind faith. The Buddha taught us to question everything, but it is of the utmost importance that we question the world we live in and that we question who we are. Only then can we begin to see the path laid out before us and start taking those steps. So I encourage every individual to ask themselves, am I an island, or am I part of something bigger than myself? Do I stand for ignorance and selfishness, or do I stand for wisdom and compassion? Do I want the world of the past, or do I believe in a better world? Am I doing enough, or can I do more? And when we have the answers to these questions, the direction we should go in opens up to us like it has been there the whole time. All of us, individually, we know what we should do. We each have our own strengths and the things that we can do to make a difference. And we can stand with and support the efforts of those with whom, together, we can make an even larger impact. For closing meditation, I wanted to read this poem, and this is a poem called "First They Came," and it's a poem of a post-war confession first made in German in 1946 by the German Lutheran pastor Martin Niemöller. So this was written about the rise of the Nazis to power, and it was an admission of guilt by this pastor. He wrote about how it was his own feelings that he was trying to express. And so this comes at the end of World War II, and it has very specific references for that time. But even though these references are specific, they could be applied to any marginalized group, any group that is at risk for harm. And so with that kind of spirit, I now would like to read this poem for closing meditation. First, they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. If you could please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Nam-myoho Butsu, Nam-myoho Butsu, Nam-myoho Butsu, Nam-myoho Butsu. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's service. Please take care of yourselves and stay safe. Bye.